This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Thursday, July 30th, 2020. The title of this rant is Trump's Desperation is Evidence as Policies Become Crazier, Crueler, and Deadlier. So today we had the economic news that GDP went down 33% in the last quarter. So why, and the president knew this was going to happen, so why is he still advocating and made a big play for this, and the Republicans and the right wing make a big play for hydroxychloroquine just this week? You know, we know that that's ineffective. We know it's not going to work. We know there are better policies than that, but he's pushing it. Also, he made a big appeal to, I use the term quote unquote, suburban housewives in terms of housing ordinances, laws, etc. That, you know, basically he's trying to hark back to the 1960s or the 1970s when there was white flight from the cities and that the inner suburbs were basically all lily white. He's trying to appeal to something that, you know, is from over 50 years ago. It's just blatant racism. And at the same time, let's never ever forget, and we need to always emphasize this, is that he's continuing to cage people of color, women and children especially, in wretched conditions that are just prime for COVID outreach, still going to court every single day, trying to keep them there and trying to deport them. And he's not even trying to reopen DACA like he was asked to do from the Supreme Court. So with the GDP being so far down, we know that it is going to be impossible to open up the economy without the pandemic subsiding to a substantial amount. It just cannot happen. So his whole policy that, we have to bring the economy back and then deal with the pandemic is completely ass backwards. And this pandemic will continue to ravage this country without leadership from the federal government, which it hasn't had. I mean, again, that's why we have a CDC. That's why we have an HHS. That's why we have a Department of Agriculture, et cetera, so that we can deal with things like this. But we do not have any leadership. So the election is going to be on healthcare. It's going to be on safety, and it is going to be on jobs. But that cannot happen until the pandemic subsides. And while all we have from our president is denying science, which is going to make it deadlier, emphasizing tropes, social issues from 50 years ago, which aren't even relevant and people don't even believe in anymore. And again, the total inhumane treatment of our sisters and brothers at the border by caging them and making their life intolerable and making it exceptionally, let's say, unhealthy by caging them in very close quarters. This is all ass backwards. And again, it is all of his Republican friends, not shit peeps out of them for this. We have to get rid of every single one of them in this election.